You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Caramel Diva?
Hey.
Hey, homegirl. Girl, I am beyond exhausted, but I am here tonight. I am here for it. I am here for the Friday Night Live.
Just dog tired all week.
Same here. 402 Revenue in the chat. He said, I am here first.
Hey. By contra, you usually the last.
I know usually he be sneaking in. I think sometimes he actually be here for the whole show, but I think he just don't be dropping down from the bushes until like towards the, later end of the show. But I think he be here.
That could be.
But
that
what's
could
going
be.
on?
Girl,
yes.
I tried to enjoy a little bit of this beautiful day we had today.
It was beautiful. The weather was, I can't believe it's October 9th. And we had record-breaking highs.
I got to warm up to y'all.
No, he didn't say he got to warm up to us. And you supposed to be meeting me at the gun range next week? What?
Oh, Lord.
How you trying to warm up to me and we supposed to be shooting guns next week? That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. Like, what's up, Tazy?
I'm so mad at him.
What's up, Tazy? How you doing? Hey, baby. That's one of our the Hood Table Nation members.
Hey.
For y'all who are members, I want to tell you that we thank you. We appreciate you for being members of the Hood Table Nation. And we thank all our subscribers, actually, for supporting us always, no matter if it's just liking a video, sharing a video, jumping on the live streams with us, super chats, cash apps, whatever. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We love you.
Ping, ping, pow, pow.
No, it's pew, pew, pew.
No, he talking about ping, ping, pow, pow.
Pew, pew, pew. Did y'all see my video of me shooting at the gun range last week?
No, I did. I seen something about it, but I ain't been. I'm trying to get back into being on Facebook, but hell, I done enjoyed myself being off of there. So,
well, you know what? I've been enjoying myself at the gun range, learning, the proper techniques of shooting a gun and, safety and all that kind of stuff. And Sunday, I actually go to my concealed weapons class on Sunday so I can get my concealed weapons license. So I'm really looking forward to that.
But Daisy, I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences go to you and your family.
No.
My heartfelt condolences.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Chase. I'm sorry to hear that too,
comfort
babe.
for you all.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
It is, tasting. Man, the mothers is the hardest to lose. So I definitely empathize and sympathize with you, and I send my prayers to you and your family for comfort, because that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I have not had to deal with that personally.
Cherish your parents. Cherish your parents. I never knew
Girl,
how
I
much
kick them
that
to the curb
meant
every chance I
till I
get.
lost one. I never knew how much it meant when
I kick
people
them to
would
the
say
curb
that.
every chance I get. Every
No,
chance I get, I kick them to the curb. No.
I'm just saying. I got like
Girl,
my
please,
dad, my stepdad. He, my real dad lives out of town, but my stepdad, he's the closest one to me. I
right.
be calling him just for anything. Hey, Dad, what you doing?
I talk to
Today.
both my parents. Well, my
Just
mom, we live together, and then and we raised my kids together, and then my dad, if he ain't coming by here, then we calling each other every day. So I can honestly say I do have a close relationship with my parents, and I do, if it's possible. I mean, I know everybody's parent ain't a parent. I know that,
girl,
but if you are
girl.
able to have um if you are able to have that connection to your parents, then I think um you should do that, and to try to foster the best relationship you can with them, because none of
Mm-hmm.
us know when our last days are.
Girl, I tell
And
my kids that all the time. A lot of times I just be joking with them though. I be like, go get your mama something to eat for breakfast. I ain't gonna be here one day and you gonna wish you could feed me some food. I be like, go to the store and get your mama, go fill my tank up, because one day you gonna wish you could put
oh
gas in my
Lord,
car. And they be like, Mama, for real. I'm like,
you dragging it out. I feel you, boys. I feel you. She dragging
I
it
do,
out.
but for real though, I mean, being that like Taze Inc., being that I have lost my mother and it was 5 years ago, I seriously be kind of joking with them, but at the same time, they know that I'm kind of serious too, because of the fact
Well,
that I
yeah,
did lose my mom.
that's
And
the
I
thing with
swear there's
anything.
things I wish I could go over her house and perm her hair. I wish I could go grease her scalp sometimes. I wish I could go take her to the
Yeah,
movie. You know what I mean? Like,
but those are the things that you did do, that you
yeah, I
can
did. Yeah, I
remember,
did.
that those are the fond memories. And like, I did make a post the other day on Facebook where, it, and my kids know, with me, it's not the big things in life
Right.
that excite me or make me happy. The other day, like I said, I'm sitting here in my bed and my daughter comes in and she just kind of lays on top of me, just
I
like
saw
she
that
always
on
does.
Facebook when they was talking about politics, your son.
Yeah, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
then my son, he comes and he like lays, well, he's at the bottom of my bed and he's doing his homework and we politicking and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just this warm feeling, like, I'm like, there are so many people who would kill to have just a minute of what I'm feeling right here.
Man,
Just
I'm telling you.
my baby's right here with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, my son, bless him, he's unabashedly, he come in and talk to me any time of day or night. And so I appreciate that we built that kind of relationship. And
It's
Tazy,
important. It's really important to have a close relationship with your parents. Like me and my sons, we have a really close. Girl, I was at the store down the street earlier getting me something to drink before the show tonight, right?
mm-hmm,
And somebody came up behind me and they hugged me so tight and kissed me on the cheek, and I was like, "What the?" And
girl,
the two policemen was like standing right by me because we was talking, and he came behind me and he was like, "What you doing, girl?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's my son."
you
The
about to
police
fight
was
your
looking
own
like that.
son.
I mean, he just grabbed me in a bear hug and he just hugged me so tight. And that's my 24-year-old. And he was like, "What you doing, girl?" And he was like, "I'm gonna follow you home. I'm coming over your house." And I'm like, "Okay."
Tasing,
But
I you
yeah.
know, thank God both my parents are in their right mind. I guess you can say that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes, count it all
my
joy, baby. Count all the
yes,
time you
yes,
had. Yes, count it all joy.
yes. But my grandmother, she lived with Alzheimer's for 18 years, and I lived over there for 7 years and
Oh
helped take
wow.
care of her. And yeah, she lived
That's
with
a
her for
long
18 years.
time.
It is. And you know why? Because we
Mm-hmm.
kept her at home. We never once put her in a home.
Yeah, that's what we did with my mom and my grandma. Yeah.
We kept her at home and we all took care of her. And I mean, unfortunately, towards the end, she was losing weight even with the feeding tube, and eventually her body started curling into a fetal position. But she lived that long, and I mean, even her doctors were, because they counted her out many a time, too many.
That's a very long time, because when my grandma when her Alzheimer's started getting bad, she literally, I think, lasted like 2 more years after it got real bad. And that's like, I mean, when your parents get sick and it's like there's nothing you can do. When if you add
it's
on,
kind of like when your kid,
it's
like when your kid gets sick, when your parent is sick,
and you just
are helpless, and there's nothing that you can do. Edward, I'm sorry, baby, I didn't mean not to acknowledge you. Good evening. I hadn't heard of that story, but we can come back and talk about that in a minute.
I was gonna come back to that.
But no, it's one of those helpless feelings, because you want to make them better, but there's nothing that you can do other than to be there and for them to see you and to feel your presence.
Yep. And sometimes, even if they can't remember you, like my grandma, when she got her Alzheimer's, she couldn't remember our names, but it was something about us that
my grandma called me
with.
by my aunt's name for years. She called me Jean. I look a lot like my aunt. I do look a lot like my Aunt Jean. I do. So I would walk by and she'd be like, Jean. So I had not heard her say my name in 5 years. And so one day she was sitting in her chair and I was in the kitchen and she says, Keisha. And I, bullshit you not, I just burst out crying because I had not heard her say my name in 5 years. I had not heard her say my name in 5 years because she kept calling me Jean. So I would always answer. I'd be like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because
it's a blessing.
I knew she was talking to me.
If you can have your parents home, I think it's a blessing if you don't have to have them in some of those facilities. They ain't all bad, but we already know a lot of things go on at those facilities that aren't too great. And so blessings to those who can have their family members at home to the very end. If they're properly taking care of them, of course, like,
but it's a hard job. Oh, honey, let me tell you.
It's a hard job. Yeah, it's a hard
job. My heart and my sympathies and my prayers go out to any caregivers because it is not a job for the faint of heart.
It's not. Just like CNAs, like I didn't work with CNAs, but I never been a CNA, and I would hear their stories and stuff. But when it came time for my mom, when we knew that she had a few months at the most, and the doctor said, "Do you want her to get to be in a facility, or do you want her to be at home?" And I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, do you want to be at home?" And she just started crying. She's like, "Please take me home." So we took her home. And it was like the nurses, they came out like maybe once or twice a week, but other than that, it was me, my brothers, my stepdad, like everything from cleaning her, changing her. And I remember when every time I would because when you been taking care of yourself for so long and you took for your children and you care for them, your husband, all that. And then when you have to sit there and let somebody wipe you and change you, and my mother, she would thank you a million times. She'd be like, "Thank you, Tiny." My nickname is Pooh. So she would either call me Poo Poo or she would call me Tiny. "Thank you, Pooh. Thank you, Pooh. I so appreciate you." I'm like, "Mom, if you thank me one more goddamn time." I'm like, "Mom, stop thanking me, please stop thanking me." And she just was like, I'm like, "No, Ma, this is me giving back to you everything you did for us as a child. I don't want no thank you. I know you appreciate it. So don't just
see, that's my thing. I don't want to thanks. I don't necessarily want to thanks, but just appreciate.
Yeah, and I knew she appreciated it.
And not necessarily a thanks, but an acknowledgement
Yeah.
that I've done something for you. And
She would
that's my issue
smile
with
and
a
she would
lot of people.
just, it was her smile alone, because my mother, when it got to the end, she couldn't really do anything but smile. That's all she could do. And so the smile she would give you if you fed her, or if you changed her, or if you put lotion on her feet, or I would paint her nails. You know, she had lost all her hair, so she didn't have too much hair left. But I would like comb a little bit, you know, that she had left. And, you know, just simple things like painting the nails, rubbing the feet. You just see it in their eyes.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so that's why I said Taze Inc. I understand how it is to lose your mother, and to be able to spend that time, that quality time with your parents before they leave here. It's so precious. And I will never take my children, my close friends, anybody for granted ever, because
Well, see, I've lost too many
it's so
people,
hard.
and I have, and you know, I'm in the habit of when I get through talking, I'm like, okay, love you, and I
Oh,
hang
that's
up.
a habit. That's a must. Like,
you,
did you
you
what?
know,
I will come out the house and go to their car, knock on their window when they about to pull up. Excuse me. And they'll roll their window down. Sorry, mom. Love you. I'll be back. Girl, it's like, And if I leave the house without telling them, they will text me. And my sons will be like, love you too. And I'll be like,
I know
my
my
bad, I'm
kids,
in a rush.
my kids, my mister, he get tickled like if I'm on the phone with him and it's late. He be like, where the kids? I'm like, oh, they done went to bed. I didn't hear you say y'all little nighttime ritual. I'm like, we already did it. Or I might even just peek
Uh,
in and while they sleep, just tell them, you know, Mama love you most of
oh,
all. Just,
yeah. You gotta show it, because life is so short. Like all the people who's dying of the Rona. I
mm-hmm.
mean, just even like people dying in car wrecks, shootings, sickness. Life is so short, and you don't realize how short it is until it's somebody really close to you that you have to bury, and it's really, it's a lot. It's a lot. But y'all, you know what? Last week, my apologies. I want to apologize to everyone, because last week was the first Friday night live of the month. And normally, Karma Diva, on the first Friday night live, that's when we do the giveaway, the winners
Mm-hmm.
of the giveaways. And I
What I
totally
win?
forgot. I totally forgot. You don't win nothing. You a co-host. You,
Hold on, shit. I need to be
you,
able to be eligible for this winning
you
stuff too. Hell.
it's for members only. It's for members only. The people who pay every month to become a member, that's who it's for. So,
I gotta pay to be.
yes, honey child, you have to be a
Damn.
member. You have to be a member. So, what I'm going to do is, Carmel Diva, I'm going to send you a list of names, and you're going to have to tell me which one you choose to be the winner this month.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Ooh, that was some feedback.
And normally I have my youngest son choose the winners each month, but he's not here. So I'm going to have Carmel Diva do it for us.
Okay, now while you doing that, let me tell you about. Oh, I never did tell you about what happened to me yesterday.
Yeah, you talk and I'll send you names.
So my daughter, I'm going to the auto shop to go sign some insurance papers, and I'm going down there. And my daughter's in the truck with me, and you know how little my car is. Now there's a chick. We right there at the light on Sorensen in Fontanelle Boulevard. Chick in front of us at the light, and we see her open her door and she yelling something, and we wasn't paying attention until she looked back and she like throwing her hands in the air and shit. And we was like, okay. So I rolled the window down. I was like, what? I thought she was trying to tell me something was wrong with my truck or something. You heard me, bitch, and this and that. And what? So I try, you know, I tried to be retired from that life.
It's hard sometimes.
Every time I try to stay away, they pull me back in. So not even second guessing, I jump out there, I throw the truck in park, I run up on the bitch. What? She's still in her car. What you say? What you say to me? What you got to say? I said, don't be pulling up on my bumper. Bitch, where am I at? It was enough. I mean, there was enough room to put my car between her and me. Where was I on your bumper? I said, bitch, I will run you over. I'm in a truck.
Oh,
you in a Malibu.
Oh,
don't fuck with me.
All the way out your
So right. So then she talking about, well, yo. So I'm walking away. She's still in her car now. So I'm walking away, and right when I get to my door, she talking about, oh, crackhead looking self. Crackhead, because I'm skinnier than you? Baby, don't go there. I was like, because you need to go get some Clearasil and clear that shit up on your face. I was like, don't fuck with me, because I do this shit for fun.
Ooh. Girl, I ain't had to come out my elements in quite some time.
It didn't end there. It didn't end there, though. So the light changes. She gonna bone out. I'm still mad, so I get back in the truck. I hawk that bitch down. You want me to be on your ass? I'm gonna be on your ass, bitch. This is what's on your ass. My baby girl, I had to come and talk to her and apologize later. But she was like, Mommy, you want me to record? Yup. She was like, you want me to get the stun gun ready? Yup. So we pull up to the next light. I'm getting ready to get out. That bitch, like, she got her foot on the gas and the brake trying to gun because she finna hop off. Bitch, don't fuck with me, because I'm not that one. I'm really not.
See, I haven't had to go there in a minute, but the last time I did, my sons just happened to be in the car. And I had to apologize. Because I totally snapped. And me and this girl was arguing right outside my car. And she was saying what she was going to do. I was saying what I was going to do. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then I looked over at my kids and they mouths was wide up. Now, it ain't like they ain't never seen me get out. You know, they done seen it. They done seen the Tasmanian.
But they ain't seen it today. My kids have heard of my past. Look, my kids have heard of my past, and they've kind of seen me, you know.
No, mine done heard and they done seen, but
they've heard and they've seen me cuss people out, but not to that extent.
No, when my kids, they know, they done heard me create new words at the drop of a dime. My kids have seen me go clean the F off.
I would have to send you the video.
And when they did that day, I just looked over and I realized my kids are in the car and me and this girl about to fight. And I'm like, oh no, you know what? I was like, you know what? F you, whatever. When I see you now, you know, I just kind of like was like, okay, I got in the car. And I drove my kids to the house and I was like, I'm so sorry. Y'all, you know, sometimes you get caught up in the moment.
But Tanya, that wasn't even the end of it.
I forgot my kids was even right there in the car because I zoned out. And then I apologized. And they was like, please apologize. We about to record you and put it on World Star. You know, my kids about it. When it pop off with their mama, they about it. Okay. They be waiting. They be waiting for me to say,
but see, my daughter, what happened though, so like I said, we rolling, I'm cussing, and she got her camera, her phone or whatever hanging out the window, and I'm flipping her off while she hanging it out the window. And we getting closer to 30th and Martin. So she took that little side street over there by the gas station. So we go on down the street, and then I ain't paying no attention. You know, I'm still kind of pumped, but I'm like, whatever. We get down to, I'm getting ready to turn to go to the body shop. Mm-hmm. She was like, Mama, there she go right there. I said, what? This bitch in the lane next to me. Oh, I tried to man, if that street wasn't so small, I'd have did a U-turn in that big ass truck.
And that was that's a little street right there.
Right. I tried to do a U-turn and go after that bitch. By the time I got that truck turned around, she was ghost. Because I was in the be on her
See,
ass.
sometimes it's just not, I mean, oh my God.
But I know it's good. I
we can
know.
talk all night about what I used to do and how I used to act back in the day and
Right.
all that. It was nothing to fight. It was nothing to before a
At
bitch
the
could get the
drop of a
word, before
hat.
a bitch could get the whole bit out like stole on. I mean, it was
Right.
back in the day. But I try to be the person I want my kids to be. But
Right.
sometimes people just take you there and you be like, I mean, I can go to 0 to 1,000 in 2.5 seconds
And that's
and like
exactly what
totally zone
happened.
out. And then I'd be like, oh, damn.
Because
I don't want to
my
go to
thing was
jail
this.
tonight.
Well, it wasn't just that. After I sat and thought about it, I'm like, I walked up on this girl. What if she had a weapon?
Yep.
And my baby sitting right there in the truck.
Yep. And that's
So,
why I'm taking my concealed weapons test Sunday. So I can
but
have my
no,
weapon on me at all times.
that's why I
But
don't need one.
the thing about it is what I've been learning from my gun classes and all that kind of stuff. It's like now that I got one, it's like I always thought I should have one just for protection. Like, okay, check this out, Karma Diva. In my gun classes, they always ask people, why are you here? Why do you feel the need to get a gun? Why do you think you need to learn how to the proper techniques and all that? And do you know all the females up in there? I'm a housewife, and my husband and my sons and their friends, they go shooting and hunting, and just in case I'm in the house alone, I'm like these old housewives. They live out, they bougie, they, you know what I mean. And when it gets to me, I'll be like, I'm gonna just keep it 100. I live in the hood. No said.
Right.
And
Okay.
they laugh every time. They be like, "What makes you want to own it?" I live in the hood.
Period.
I mean, no said. That's. I just want one for protection, and it's like God forbid anything ever happens. But I always said I wouldn't get one when my children were little, and now that they both grown, and I'm like, okay,
I
I
can't
want to
see
get
me
me.
getting one.
And so I've been going to the range. I've been practicing my shot and stuff, and I'll be like, pow, pow, pew, pew. And Sunday, I get to take my little test for my concealed weapons license. And y'all pray for me that I'll pass, even though everybody said it's easy peasy, but I'm going to just,
You do all right.
But 402, me and him supposed to be going to the gun range. That's gonna be one of my shooting partners. So when he came in the chat talking about
trying to warm up to us.
he
I'm
gotta warm
like,
up to us. I'm like, what you
I
mean you
just
gotta
seen
warm
his
up to
ass
me?
yesterday.
You cannot be next to me with a pistol talking about I still gotta warm up to you.
I'm
No.
like, I just seen him yesterday. What the hell he talking about? He need to come on. He need to come on here so we can address some things.
I
No,
know. I be telling him, I'm like, come on the chat, because he ain't been on the chat in a long
well,
time.
he popped up on us there one day. That
Well,
was that was.
if he pop on me tonight, he better give me some warning, because I'm strapped now. I'm strapped, so you can't just be coming over unannounced.
Hell no.
My cousin's like, who gave this fool a gun?
My kids when I do go and I be looking, I see them in the reflection of the like when we at a pawn shop or something, and they be like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't let her have it." Especially my son, he the first one to be like, "Don't
My
let her have it."
son,
I'm like,
my youngest son.
I'm the one that you really should let have because I'm the only one in the house with training, with gun training.
My youngest son, has been asking me for years to get one, but they were younger. And I'm like, every time I ask him why, he said, because we live in the hood. I'm like, I've been born and raised. I was raised in the projects. I lived in the projects
We
even as
born
a
and
grown
bred for this.
person. I've been in the hood all my freaking life. And he was like, well, you just never know. So my kids, they the ones who would be like, get that one.
Look, we're a different generation from them. We born and bred for this.
Exactly. I mean, when you raised in the hood all your life, like I literally every time I moved, and you'd have been to plenty of my houses from me moving, and you could testify. I always, sometimes I'd be so deep in the goddamn hood, we almost in another city. Like, like when I stayed way down on 14th Street.
That was the best party house ever.
Yeah, if you look across the damn woods, that's another city. That's Carter Lake. I'm like,
that was the best party house ever. Cousin Woods, you was the last motherfucking house on the block.
Dude, my cousin, one of my cousins, I was talking to him last night. He said, what was that house you used to stay in down there deep by the woods? I'm like, oh, you talking about 14th Street? He said, man, the parties.
Man.
I'm like, yeah, I miss that house. I miss that house.
Hell, when you lived up on Nebraska, you was up by the woods too.
Yeah, well, the doggone deer. All the deer. No, that was
turkeys back there too. That was
all the deer and all the turkeys used to get on my doggone nerves. And I used to work sometimes overnight, and I would come home at 3, 4 in the morning, and it's deer walking down my street, and I'm looking at these fools, and they looking at me, and I'm like, okay, is you gonna go? Is you gonna let me go? I'm like, how the hell you live in the hood, in the city?
But you know, I see them now. I see them now, like over by my dad's house. Well, you know, my dad just lived down the street from where you was.
Girl, when you wake up with 20 damn turkeys in your yard, like, come on now. I stay in the city. I'm in the hood. Why do I have 20 turkeys in my yard?
When I lived on 16th Street, when I lived on 16th Street, and I used to have to, when I was working up at Emmanuel, I used to drive down 20th and then hop on the interstate. Girl, what is that tower? Is that Jackson Tower?
It's about no, Jackson is downtown.
Okay, so whatever that tower is, right there off 20th.
You talking about Fontenelle? Is it no? I know which one you're talking about.
Right there before you get on that little interstate, right?
Yep. Anyway. I know which one you're talking about.
Girl, full of fucking turkeys. Nothing but turkeys in the morning. And all that fog everywhere. And shit. They be in all them turkeys. I'll be like, what the hell?
But you know what? When I was staying over there where we had all the deer, you know, the other party house. When we had all the deer, somebody told me to buy that
where y'all had
that rabbit spray. It's like deer rabbit spray.
Oh yeah.
And it works. Like it really works. And I used to spray all around my garage and around the front back patio. You know what a back patio was, or the
because you know what, it used to be hunters could pee on trees. Or, you know, pee in certain areas, and it would keep the deer away. But now these animals are so acclimated to humans that they ain't even scared of that no more.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, that rabbit, deer, bear spray, whatever it was, I bought it at Home Depot, and I'm telling you, I used to wake up and have deer footprints in my front, you know, like if it snowed, I would have like deer footprints all in my backyard, all in my front yard. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really scared of them, but sometimes they be scared of you and they might, you know, act crazy. So that's why I bought the spray, but it really, really worked. It really did. And I just want to, I don't know if Edward is still in the chat, but I did want to acknowledge his comment that he said about his father. He said he lost his dad in 2016 to cancer, but he's keeping the legacy going, and he enjoyed the little time he had with him. And he also said up above,
that's a blessing.
Now, what was he talking about? See, I hope he's still in the chat because I want to know what he's talking about the dude that left his daughter in the backseat of the car.
What was that at?
Have you heard about that? I
haven't.
I ain't heard about that, but what I'm about to show y'all now, you seen the video about the cop being dragged?
I think I heard something about I ain't even been watching the news. Well,
let me tell you, it ain't even on the news yet. It ain't even on the news yet, but it's on the hood table. It's on the hood table.
Let me know how we do.
Yes, man, I'm telling you. thanks. I want to send a shout out to all the people who send me links, who send me tea, who send me news, local news, trending news. Because, when you busy, you got 3, 4, 11 jobs. You can't, do a lot of research on news. But a lot of stuff that I talk about is because somebody done sent it to me, or somebody hit me up and said, Tanya, you need to get here right now. And I get a lot of people who call me and say, Tanya, where you at? You need to get here right now. It's going down over here, over here. So that's how a lot of times people be like, how you be everywhere? It's because people hit me up and they be like, Tanya, the hood table, what's good? Where you at? But I want to show y'all this video real quick. There was a officer, a female officer that was dragged.
Here in Omaha?
Yes. Oh. That's why I asked you, girl, did you know about it? She was dragged. You know where Centris is on 48th and Ames?
Yeah.
Right there. That's where it was. That's where it was. So let me pull up the share screen so I can show y'all. And I'm going to mute you and I so they can just hear the video. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Can y'all see it okay?
Yeah.
All right, let me know if it's too much feedback, and then I'll mute us if it is.
We did. Okay. Hurry up! They have Ruffin. Well, you call 911 from your phone.
She is 911.
Child, she is 911.
We did.
Well, she jumped in the car.
She jumped in the car. The police jumped in the car.
They have Ruffin. Well, you call 911 from your phone.
They have what? No, what did she say?
She said, call 911 from your phone. Let me tell y'all what had happened. Okay? What had happened was. Now, this is allegedly, this is a tea that I got from somebody who sent me the video. The person who recorded the video, who was at the bank, they said that it was an alleged check fraud. And so that lady cop was trying to arrest that lady. It was a black female in that car who was driving. They tried to arrest her. They tried to handcuff her. They tried to put her hands behind her back, all that before she even got to the car for check fraud. But the black lady driving the car still managed to, get in her car. And when the cop opened the passenger door and tried to make her get out the car, which me as a cop, I wouldn't have went that far.
Right.
There's just some things that, and you know how it is at them banks, you might be a cop, but they're usually that's like their part-time, because there's cops who they be in the street, they be riding around their cars. Then there's cops who sign up to work at banks, grocery stores, liquor stores, And that could be her full-time job at the bank or a part-time job. But it's like once they get out the bank and they get in their car and you jump in their car, you don't know what these people got. And so much you might have a gun. The position that cop was in, if the driver would have pulled a gun on her or something,
it would have been, the driver would have been at fault, but the cop put herself in that
exactly
place, in that position.
Exactly. And I wouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, so the chick, we think that she's doing check fraud inside the store. If you can't arrest her in the bank, if you can't put her in handcuffs in the bank, then I'm like, you jump in her vehicle.
You got license plates, you got the vehicle, you know what she look like. Come on.
You got the license plates, you got her on camera, you know she's on camera in the bank.
Right.
But see, the thing is, the chick didn't have plates. Now I don't know if y'all noticed,
she
but
didn't.
She didn't have no plates. She was parked in the handicapped stall. She didn't have no plates. And that female cop, I couldn't tell if she was white or Mexican or Spanish. I couldn't tell, but I think she was white. But she jumped in that car like, I'm like, come on, I know you love your job, police, lady, female police officer, but ain't no way I'm gonna be jumping in the car trying to snatch somebody out of the car like that. If you can't get her in the bank, if you can't get her in the bank, I'm like, you got a whole pistol on your hip, and you can't detain her in the bank, and then you gonna jump in her car and get dragged. Like,
wait, she put her left foot in, she had her right foot out. And she got drug all about.
see, you about to get me in trouble. I can't take you nowhere. Can't take you nowhere.
That's why I was sitting here laughing.
Can't take you nowhere.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Edward said he's still rocking with us and he saw that cop get dragged. Edward, ain't that some shit? I mean, I'm sorry, but it's a lot of stuff going on these days with cops killing people who I think don't deserve to be killed. And then in situations where I feel like cops is trying to be superheroes sometimes.
I say this, the coward led to tell how that brave motherfucker got killed.
But this situation with the cop who we just showed the video of, who was dragged, it could have been worse. What if she was halfway out the car? What if she got underneath the wheels of the car?
Right.
And Ames Street is right there. If she would have dragged her butt out on Ames Street and all them cars flying over, that's 48. What
right, and it's raggedy.
So, it's the hill. It's the hill right there before you get to Walmart.
Right. And it's raggedy right there in that park. Raggedy is
child.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa Boo. Oh, Taze, you are the winner. Taze, are you still in the chat?
Yeah, she's still here.
Taze, you are the winner of this month, so you get a prize home, girl. Hey. My co-host picked your name. As y'all know.
So that means I get half. That means I get half the prize. Bam.
You can't get half the prize.
Then we gonna share it.
No,
I get it Monday. Look, I get it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Child.
And she can have it all the rest of the days.
You cannot be taking her prize. Matter of fact, who won last week? Mr. Pac 1977, who won last month, he still ain't hit me up and told me which prize he preferred. He's like a month overdue for his prize.
Oh, is that what happened 402?
Yeah, because I told him, I said, you either get some merch or you get a surprise where I just send you whatever I want to send you, or I'll go shopping and I'll send you whatever I want to shop, what I get, while shopping. And he ended up sending us $25 cash out for drinks and never told me what he wanted for his gift.
His gift was to gift us, and I appreciate it.
Mr. Pop 97, just in case you might be watching, yes, Carmel Diva will tell you I did give her portion of the cash app.
I ain't get shit. No, I'm just playing.
Don't be lying. You better be lying.
I'm playing.
You better not be lying.
I'm playing. So, I had forgot it was on there, and then I had went to go pay a couple of bills, and I was like,
"You can't be forgetting that you got money from our supporters."
When you sent it, I've been doing all kind of crazy stuff.
I know.
And then with this back to school stuff, and baby girl want to go back to school, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I had thought about it, and I was gonna send her, but I said, yeah, I just can't.
Yeah.
Hello, Sir King.
What's up, Sir King? What's up? Welcome to the chat. I know you probably going live in like 30 minutes. So when we do wrap up, you already know I'm going to be in your chat. Because your chat's be going down. Sure, it be going down in Sir King's lives, like for real.
Oh gosh.
Sure, like, and there's been so much stuff going on in these YouTube streets in these last few days. Like,
she told my YouTube streets. Hell, I told you what happened in these Omaha streets yesterday.
Man, the Omaha streets, the YouTube streets, is going down everywhere. But Taze Inc., hit me up, honey. Either email me thehoodtable@hotmail.com or go to our Facebook page, The Hood Table, and inbox me, or hit me up on IG, The Hood Table. You either get a prize from like a surprise prize where I go out shopping and I buy you something and I send it to you. If you live in Omaha, I'll deliver it to you if you want. Like I did a couple of months ago to one of our members, I delivered their prize. I went shopping for them and everything.
That's why y'all ain't. Melissa, I'm telling you, my baby, she cried. She wanted to go back to school, and at first I relented because my kids I had already signed them up for remote back in the. I signed them up for remote back in the summer, but she cried and cried, and I said, okay, because maybe she need that structure because she's still young. But honey, one of the other school districts, they came down with 86 cases. I was like, at one school, nah.
Pull them out, snatch them out. But let me finish telling Taze Inc. about her gift, okay? Taze Inc. I'm gonna drop the link to our Teesprings because we do have merchandise on Teesprings. So I'm going to drop the link to Teesprings. And
just surprise her. She's in Omaha.
Just surprise you? Okay. All right. I'm a good gift giver. I'm a good gift giver. So tomorrow
2216 production. How you doing?
Tomorrow evening I'll go shopping for you, Taze Inc. Now, but you still gotta inbox me. You gotta either inbox me or you gotta email me, thehoodtable@hotmail.com, or Facebook, The Hood Table, inbox me, or IG, The Hood Table. Hit me up and let me know like your favorite colors, things that you like, so I can have some kind of idea of what to purchase for you, like colors, scents, just
I want an orange Lamborghini.
Nope, Karma Diva, you don't get shit.
Orange Lamborghini.
The co-hosts do not get gifts. Now, when we get blessed by our supporters, that's where we share our gifts.
No.
like when Fox 97 said he was gonna cash up us some money for some liquor. I didn't even expect it. I just saw the cash app.
I didn't either. I seen he said it, but I didn't think it would happen. I was like,
I can buy me a couple bottles with that.
Well, how you doing?
Oh, hey, all the way from Texas.
Hey.
Hey, 2216 production. Hey, what's going on?
Knowing I love me some Texas.
I know. And Taze Inc., she said she's in Omaha. Okay, y'all know I'm in the hood in Omaha, so just hit me up. Let me know where you at. I can deliver. I deliver.
Now what y'all know about them Texas boys? Hey.
Oh, but let me talk about this real quick. Okay, now Karma Diva.
Yes,
have you heard about the young man who was arrested for allegedly robbery last week? And when they got him down to the police station downtown,
shot himself.
Yes, he snuck a gun in. How the hell you sneak a gun in after you've been arrested, you've been detained, they pat you down?
That mean they didn't pat him down good.
They claim they pat him down, but how you pat down this skinny old boy? Did you see how small the dude was? Now I can see
my
if they
baby
pat
girl
me
is
down,
coming in saying tell everybody hi.
I can see if they pat me down because I'm a big girl. But that no, for real. When I have my gun in the holster and I have it inside my pants, you can't tell I got a gun on me. So, but this little skinny dude, they patted him down. and he still managed to get a gun into the jail.
Yeah.
And then
until he got to the strip search. I'm
right.
still trying. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand if he got a hold of the gun first or they did. Because the way they wrote it up, the way they wrote it up in the on the news, it sounded like when they did the strip search, they found it. So I don't know if they were the ones who retrieved it from wherever he had it hidden, or if he was the one who retrieved it.
Well, see, what I read was, and I actually talked. See, it might be an upcoming exclusive interview on this subject. I'm gonna hit you up outside of the live. I'll hit you up. But somebody used to be the foster care parent for that boy.
Mm.
That boy who has been locked up and on $1 million bond, who shot himself in jail. He has a twin, and his twin is also in jail.
Oh, damn.
And allegedly,
he was going to try to get his brother out.
Nope. Allegedly, this boy. Okay, I'm not even going to get into that part until we do the exclusive. But let me just tell you this: his father was killed in a high-speed police chase a few years back. But the thing is, on the news, they don't mention any of that. They don't mention any of that. The child was in foster care. He was bounced around. His father was killed by police in a high-speed chase a few years ago. They don't mention any of that.
Mm.
So it's a lot to this story and a lot to his background that they're not saying on the news that I got the exclusive tea to. But like I said, we'll talk outside of
yeah, because
we're going to be doing an interview on that with somebody who used to be that child's foster parent that reached out to me, because the thing is they feel like that child was not given the proper care, treatment, counseling. When they was responsible for that child, they would tell like the caseworkers, this child needs help, this child needs counseling, this child needs,
yeah.
And none of that was done. So now the child is in jail on $1 million bond.
And it killed me because I really want to know more details, because why is he on $1 million bond? Was he pointing the gun at them? Like, how did he get a hold of it?
No, he shot himself. That's the thing. He was able.
I know.
Okay, if you get arrested, you know how it is. I didn't been arrested a few times way back in the day. I'm a good girl now. I'm a Christian girl. I'm born again, sanctified, filled with the whatever, But if you've been arrested before, you know how they feel you down, they tap you down, they feel between your legs, behind you, your hips, your waist, all that kind of stuff, your legs, your ankles, to make sure that you don't have a strap on you. Somehow this young boy was able to bring a gun into the freaking jail. Now what's crazy about that is, Carbo Diva, I done talked to some people who work at the jail, and even the police officers aren't allowed to bring their guns inside the correctional center. None of the correctional people who work there can have guns.
My mama used to be a guard there. I know.
Right. So the police officers, basically all they do is drop them off at the correctional center, and then they get into the hands of the correctional people. So how the hell he get arrested, have a gun on him, taken into the correctional center? They didn't feel it on him. And then he gets in the correctional center. They find out through a strip search he has a gun. They take it away. He managed to get the gun back, and then he shoots himself in the head.
So how was he a threat to them?
This is the story that they are providing.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
This is the story that they are providing. How the hell he get the gun back? To shoot himself. So it's a lot of questions about this young boy. And that's why I can't wait to do the exclusive interview on the person that used to be his foster parent. But yeah, 2216, you're right. It doesn't matter where he got the gun from, they failed to protect him. I'm just thinking, Karma Diva, you can add in, but I'm just thinking if you get a strip shirt, you get into jail with a gun. You get to the strip shirt part, they find out you got a gun. You would think they would take that gun, they would take it away from the area.
Right.
Confiscate it, bag it, evidence,
But that depends. You got to think too, how many people did they have there while he was being strip searched? Because
right.
if it's only two, they can't just leave one person in there. Now, what
right.
they could have done, or probably should have done, is I'm sure wherever they were, I know there wasn't a camera, but I know they got some kind of call button or something to call for backup.
He shot himself.
Now, in that amount of time, maybe he wrestled it from him or something. I don't know.
I don't know. But see, the thing is, they're not talking.
Oh yeah, because they reps are telling them not to talk.
People are saying
telling them.
Some people don't even know who this child is. They don't know his story. They don't know his history. This child, comes from a broken home. Again, I'm not going to get into all the details right now. I'm going to say that for our exclusive interview with the person who used to be his foster parent, who tried and tried and tried to get the foster care system to get help for this boy.
They don't care about them kids.
Who is now in jail with $1 million bond.
They don't care about them kids.
It's so sad. It's so sad. Because the boy, he allegedly got arrested for robbery. And he's on $1 million. He's on $1 million bond.
But see, the bond it's not for the robbery. The bond is because of the weapon.
And that's what I think. Yeah, I agree.
Because if you look at the charges that they have on him, it's basically putting them officers in danger.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, however many, I think it was 4 or 5 counts or something like that. So that's why his bond is so much. But I'm sure if he had just went in for the robbery, but we putting it all on the officers. Where's the personal accountability? Why did you carry a gun into the facility?
Like when y'all arrested him, did y'all not pat him down like y'all claimed y'all did?
Oh, I'm talking about the boy. I'm talking about him too.
Right. And the thing is, I know the $1 million bond has to do with him having a gun in a facility. But again, the officers who brought him in.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all pat him down or did y'all not pat him down?
Right.
Because, the whole story is kind of fuzzy to a lot of people.
But to be honest, there are different kind of pat downs too. There is a full pat down, and then I believe there's one called a Terry frisk where they can just barely touch your legs, touch your sides and your arms, and that's it.
See, so, I'm about to bring somebody on real quick. Oh, okay. and Taze E, I got you. She just hit me up in the inbox. I got you, girl. I'm gonna be sitting. I'm going shopping. See, the thing about it is, when you are a member of the Hood Table Nation, and you get the opportunity to win gifts every month. If y'all don't pick from our merchandise and just say shop for me, I love going shopping.
No, Melissa, he didn't die from the bullet wound.
Nope, he didn't die. Nope.
He survived.
Okay, the person who told me to add you onto the StreamYard, I just sent you the link. I want to drop the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to jump on the stream, it's Friday Night Live, so y'all know how it goes on Friday Night Live. We can talk about whatever we talking about, or you can come on the chat and talk about a different subject, whether it's trending news, hood news, whatever.
Just and to go back to that story about the baby in the car, Edward said that was in Nevada.
Edward said that was in Nevada. He been following us and giving us tea forever, and he don't never jump on the street.
Right.
Hey, what's up, 2216 production?
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing great. You know, I had to jump in on this topic just real quick. I think we're failing to realize y'all living in Omaha, Nebraska. And the way they handled Jake Gardner's case. I don't even see why we're even questioning why the little boy did this, the little boy did that. I wouldn't trust that system for nothing in the world. The question is, how did he get the gun in there? And we need to ask the question, did he really bring a gun in there?
That's what I'm hitting at. See, you feeling me. That's what I'm hitting at.
See, we giving them too much credit. They have not gave us a reason to trust them.
Right.
I don't trust nothing they're saying about that baby. I just cannot imagine you got arrested by the police. They search you. Then when you get to the correctional center, from my understanding, they search you again before they turn you over.
Right.
Then they search you. How did that gun get there?
Right, because they did say he was searched by the police. Then they said they searched him again when he got there. And then when they did the strip search, that's when they found the gun.
Okay, imagine the body. Where did he put that gun?
And he's a small frame person.
And he's small frame. Think about it. Just think about it. Where could he possibly have hidden a 22? That
I've heard of stranger things.
That don't even make sense. What I believe probably happened, but they ain't gonna never tell you this. He got in there and he gave them the business. And he got that gun from them. That's an automatic termination. Where's the gun? And the question is, how did that baby get that gun past that many police officers? And if he was that combative as they say he were,
why would he shoot himself and not them?
Right. I just don't believe it. I believe that gun went off.
See,
I believe he got into a fight with the officer, a police officer, and that gun went up. This is a cover-up. This is a cover-up. You
That's
just use logic. Logic will help you get an understanding. And if we're dealing with mental illness and failures of other systems that should have been in place for that baby, he's nothing but another Nico Jenkins. He was another Nico Jenkins in the making. Research that baby story. It's gonna come out.
And that's what I was saying. I can't believe that they don't have his backstory, because from what I heard, they don't have his backstory. Like normally when the news, like something this big, they have like a backstory. They don't have none. I don't know if the news don't know about it or
they know about it. They have
to. They have to. His father was killed.
Because they probably reported on it. Now, if they reported on that,
I've been checking all the news links, and all they said basically was this boy tried to commit suicide. That's the only thing they got out there. That's it.
Like he just came out of the blue.
That's it. He was arrested and he tried to kill himself. That's all they got out there.
If we just use our common sense, we know that story don't even sound right.
Right.
Now, you was combative with the police, and so that meant that they called for backup, so you at least had 4 or 5 cops dealing with you.
And they did say that they called for backup. They did say that.
Okay. So think about it. They calling for backup, so you got 4 or 5, at least 4 or 5 to 6 cops on you already. And you a small frame. You probably about 5'4" at the most. Skinny, 100.
Yeah, it's a small guy. Yeah.
Come on. That don't even make sense. You know they gonna pat him down.
Yeah.
They're trying to skip over the fact that this baby was mentally ill. They're trying to skip over the fact there were many systems in place with this baby, and they failed him on all levels, even all the way to the correctional center. You got to ask yourself, how did that baby get that gun in there? And then another thing is, why is that story switching every other day?
Yep.
Because somebody is responsible at the end of the day. If he shot himself in the head or not, they got to pay that family.
Right. Right, because he shouldn't even been able to bring the gun in the jail. From the time they arrest you and put you in that police car, there's no way you should have a gun on you.
Exactly.
Then you get checked again when you get immediately in the jail, and then you get checked again when you get strip searched.
They did not protect that baby from himself, and they have a responsibility. They have a sworn duty to protect. They did not protect that baby, and they're not gonna lie and sit back and make like that baby bought a 22 in the jail and then ran down the hall and shot himself in the head. The devil is a lie, and we need to quit falling for the okie doke when it come to our people. If we did not push the issue about Jake Gardner, that man would have still been killing our babies.
Yep, and he will still be in California right now.
I want to know what happened in that jail cell with that baby. This is just as important to know as the case of Jake Gardner.
Did they say they have cameras or not? Because
not
they should have had cameras.
I mean, not in the strip search.
See, but okay, before that, when they checked him though, when they patted him down, when they first come into the jail, they should have cameras there. Maybe not in the strip search area, but if they patted him down with the police, they should have cams on them. And then when they get inside the jail, they got to pat them down again.
Baby, they try to get this thing nice, good, and in order. But at the end of the day, the question of the hour is, how did he get that gun in there?
Thank you. I can't even believe. I mean, this is crazy.
I don't believe he did.
I ain't never heard of this. And I've been in Omaha all my life. And I ain't never heard of nobody being able to be arrested, charged, patted down, taken to the jail with a gun on them and get through you got security, you got all these security mechanisms to make sure the cops don't even bring a gun inside the correctional area. So how he get a gun?
I don't believe it. I don't believe I don't believe it. And if you look at how they're reacting, it's a cover-up. It reminds me, I don't know why I'm feeling this thing like Sandra Bland.
Uh-oh.
It's like they covering up something. Because if you use logic, it just don't make sense.
Yeah. It don't make sense to me. I just can't imagine, like, how the hell you get a gun into... Because I done been to court a lot of times. I didn't cover cases. I done sat in on trials. Like, you cannot get a gun. You can't get a cell phone. So I'm confused. Like, how he get a gun? I don't
got no gun in there. Tell you, he ain't no gun. I believe he got in a fight with one of them cops, and he pulled a gun, and it was on.
Right, and then the thing is, he was in there with the correctional officers because the cops dropped him off and left. So if the gun wasn't his gun, then it would have been from the correctional officers, and they ain't supposed to have a gun.
Okay, so then the responsibility will fall on the Omaha police, and you see what I'm saying? They can't afford to be hit again.
Yeah, they can't. Not right now. Nope.
They can't afford to have a case like that. But his mama, his family, they got a case against the city. They had a responsibility to protect that boy. That boy, let me just say, they had a responsibility and they failed. They failed again. And they don't
I'm listening, y'all, but I know y'all hear me yawning. I'm listening and I'm active. I'm taking in what everybody's saying. I put it like this. I have heard of people sneaking drugs and weapons into jail.
Yeah, I heard of drugs. I heard of drugs, but how you get past the security? How you get past the gun security?
I'm gonna leave out because I can't hear you.
How do you get past that? Every time I go in, I can't. I remember when we sat in for the Tyler Ty, the case, the black girl who was murdered by that white dude Joshua. And I swear, we could barely get a pen inside there. They wouldn't let us get our phone in there. We couldn't get a lot of stuff in there. So I'm just like, how the heck you get a gun in?
And why are they keeping it so quiet?
Oh, yeah, they haven't. All they said was a black guy arrested, shoots himself in jail. That's it. And this happened how many days ago? Like a week ago?
They ain't gonna talk about that.
They ain't put up no more information yet. They ain't gave up no updates. All they said was he got $1 million bond.
I guarantee you, because I don't anticipate on letting this go, I guarantee you there's a cover-up. Because you can't explain how did he get the gun in there. So that right there, you failed. You failed already when he got that gun in there.
Yeah.
And then they're going to send psychologists and psychiatrists down to the jail for the people, the staff that was there. Oh, they're really painting this nice picture. Oh, they putting it all together just like they did that baby with Jake.
Just like they did with Yep.
This is
with James. That's yep. But see, the thing is, it's either one or two things. Either they didn't really pat him down, and he got in with the gun, or the gun came from somewhere else. It's one or two things because there's no way that you can be patted down, but while you getting arrested and get patted down again when you get inside the jail, and they don't find the discovery to the gun to your strip shirts. Like it ain't like you had the gun. Well, I ain't even gonna say where.
That's probably where it was. That was my whole thing when y'all was saying where he gonna put the gun. I'm like, I was waiting on somebody to go there. That's where he put it.
I mean, it was a 22. A 22 is a smaller gun.
But how you think they get drugs in there? How you think they get everything else in there?
Come on now.
But
I'm being dead serious. And I'm saying this from somebody whose mama worked there for 13 years.
Wow. So how? Okay, Karma Diva, so you tell me, how does somebody who's arrested on the streets get a gun in the police car? You go to the jail. As soon as you get there, they check you again, they pat you down again.
Now, hold on.
I mean, now, let me say this.
I don't know of, now look, let me say this. I don't know of anybody in Omaha bringing a weapon into the jail. I have heard of it. I have heard of it in other places, not in Omaha.
But that's what I'm saying. It's never happened here.
You have to think. To pack a pistol in your buttocks is a pre-planned incident.
And it's a pistol. That would be
a pistol. It's not going to be something you're going to be able to do.
Oh my God!
Like that. So let's logic again. The common sense on this one. When they arrested him, he was arrested for domestic violence. So it was a issue that was going on in his home. Ain't nobody thinking about hiding no pistol in their buttocks.
Exactly. So if he had it, he had to have it either between his legs. I'm thinking he had it between his legs. Because ain't nobody gonna put no gun in their butt. I think the police, they arrested him.
That mean they did a lazy ass search on him.
Right.
Or
exactly.
They did a Terry frisk.
They didn't do a search.
Carmen, stay right there. And that's where they failed them. And that's where they're gonna have to pay.
Yep.
Because they probably did a Terry frisk, and if you look up a Terry frisk, they cannot, how they show how they grab their genitals and this and that. A Terry frisk, they cannot do that. A Terry frisk is where they just literally pat from your thigh down and on your arms, and like I said, down your sides. That's it.
And he could have had it like right in his private area where they did
right, right.
Because a 22 is not that big.
No.
But he
could have had that there.
He's not. I just can't see it. I just can't see it happening. I just can't see
more information
with that many cops and that many correctional officers. You went from one department had you, and then they transferred you over to another department, and they missed it. Come on.
We need some footage. We need some footage.
Yeah, the footage is gonna have to come out, and I would just encourage his mom to get an attorney.
Yeah. I would too, because the thing is, he shouldn't have had the gun in the jail in the first place. And regardless if he brought it in, if he didn't bring it in, they're supposed to make sure that he don't bring a gun in or any kind of weapon, a knife, a gun, a razor, anything. That's what their job is, to make sure they pat you down when you get arrested. Wherever it is, at a store, at a grocery store, they're supposed to pat you down, make sure you don't have anything. Then when you get in a jail and they take everything off your person, they're supposed to make sure you have nothing on you as well at that time. So that's all the stuff they do before you get to the strip search. So how the hell he passed all those avenues? And then they find out at the strip search he got a gun. Then they claim at the strip search they took the gun from him. So what did you do? Take the gun from him and just sit it right there next to him? Because he managed to get the gun back. He managed to get the gun back, run into a room, and shoot himself. That's what they claiming. That he managed to get the gun back. He ran into a dressing room and shot himself. That's what they're claiming.
They failed again. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you they ain't telling it. I bet you a lot of heads rolled that day.
Man. Somebody says, Edward said they even did him like Sandra Bland.
Exactly. Hey, Edward, that is a powerful, I thank you, brother, because you know what? I thought I was losing it. I thought, am I the only one seeing this? And I'm not trying to compare Jake. What's the baby name?
James.
You talking about James Scurlock?
Yes, I'm not trying to compare the two, but they both this baby Brandon is as important as that case. These people are trying to cover this up. It's obvious. And as of today, I think the story was that he came in the station and it got missed. They switching it up every day, people, and you have to ask yourself, why are they being so quiet?
You have to ask questions. You have to. Just like the fact that, okay, normally when stories come out, Carmel Diva 2216, y'all can tell me otherwise if you want. But normally when stories come out, when it's like a big story, like something like this, they give all kind of background information. Like the fact that his father was killed a few years ago in a high speed police chase.
2008.
Yeah, in a high speed police, even if it was 2 years ago, 5 years ago, this is no information to. I know the police know this information. I know they know this information. Like, your parent, your brother, your mother. I mean, that was killed in a police situation. Why ain't that coming out? The fact that he was a foster child. The fact that he was a foster child. It's weird to me how in certain stories they tell you how many kids they got, where they grew up, what school they went to, who their parents was, and then in some situations it's just like, okay, this person was arrested, and that's that.
Yeah, they don't. It's like his life before the age of 21, where he is, it doesn't exist. You have to ask why they are not touching that part of it.
Right.
Because then it's going to open the door. Common sense says, if they're not doing, because see, these people are not hard to figure out. If you get where I'm saying.
This child had a rough upbringing. That's what needs to come out that they're not bringing out.
Yeah, and I'm just asking people, just pay attention to this case. I'm going to continue to reach out to other people. I'm just telling people to read the case. Why they haven't produced the videos? You got to ask yourself that. It's been a week.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out. It has been a week. It's been a week. And they released no footage. They released no footage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the family is requesting it, because sometimes family just be like, and you know, when you're dealing with a kid or somebody who's been in trouble with the law or been acting out or something like that, sometimes family don't request certain information. They just be like, okay, they got arrested. Okay, that's what they get. Okay, you know.
And I think you're bringing out a great point. I think we have trusted this system for so long, not necessarily trusted. We have accepted it for what it is. If they do something against us, we know they done it. We just don't fight. We don't say nothing. We don't have a voice. Now what is going on is that is shifting, and we're now standing up and saying, no, that ain't right. And I think everyone is not there. Thank God I'm there. Thank God there's other sisters and brothers out there that can look at this and can say, oh no, this ain't right. But we just have to pray that our people understand that this just don't seem right here. And you got to be able to discern that.
And if it don't make sense, if it don't add up, you have to question it. If it don't make sense, you have to question it. Because sometimes when we don't question stuff, that's when people end up doing life, or they end up getting a chair because we don't question stuff.
$1 million bond for shooting himself in the head.
And that's what I mean. I know Carmel Diva was like, well, because he had a gun. I get it, but he shot himself. If what they saying is true, and he didn't point the gun at them, he didn't try to point the gun at no cop, why is they putting him on $1 million bond for shooting himself?
Because they don't want to bring up his mental health.
Oh, child. Oh, my God. This is crazy.
Ain't that deep? Because if they bring up his mental health, they then have to knock at the door of child protection and foster care. Exactly.
And from what I heard, he had issues in foster care that people had tried to get, the people over foster care to, try to get him help and things like that. And, it's a whole sad situation altogether.
It has the spirit of Sandra Bland. I just keep feeling that. But it has the complete outline of Nico Jenkins.
Yeah, and Nico Jenkins, if people
y'all gonna be surprised about this case.
If y'all ain't from Omaha, some of y'all might not know about Nico Jenkins. But if y'all not from Omaha and y'all don't know about Nico Jenkins, you can go to our YouTube channel and go to the search and type in Nico, Nikko Jenkins, or you can type it in Google, Nico Jenkins. And man, once you read that story, you will fully understand what 2216 production is referring to. Because Nico Jenkins was one of those people who needed help from the system since he was like 13, 14, 15 years old. And from 13, 14, 15, he was committing crimes and doing all kind of crazy stuff. By the time he was grown, he was murdering people. Like, he was on a killing spree. And he's from Omaha, Nebraska. And sometimes that stuff happens when somebody who's a 12, 13, 14-year-old child, and they having all these issues and in and out the foster care system, and they don't get no help. They end up being these murderers, these predators, the older they get. And that's what 2216 is referring to when she's saying Nico Jenkins.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna sit back and I'll wait till Carmen come back on and then I'll jump off with you.
Oh, I think she jumped off for the night. She hit me up in the side chat and said she's not feeling too well. So she said she's gonna jump off the screen. So I think she's going for the night. But Edward said 2216, Edward said he believed they planted the gun on him before the pat down.
Okay. See, but Edward, you know what? I feel you because I just know something wasn't right when I just start reading it.
And then add up.
Catching up, I'm like, that don't even make sense based on the procedures.
Right.
You know what I mean? You brought up the fact that police officers are only able to bring their guns in so far.
To the correctional center so far. Right.
Okay. So if the baby, I'm calling him a baby, but because he is one of me, if he had a gun, OPD missed it, and the backup, 6 officers missed it.
Yep.
Okay. So then they get him handcuffed in the car. Remember, handcuffed backwards.
And that's what they said. They handcuffed him. But see, the thing is, if you handcuff and pat down before you even get in the car, then when you get to the police station, they're supposed to do it all over again. That's way before you get strip searched.
Yes, I think, and I'm gonna have to call up somebody that'll be to jail because I don't know.
Please find out, honey. Please find out, and we can do this whole show. We can have a continuation because I would also I know a lot of people who did correctional work. Some of them have retired. Some of them, that went different directions with their careers. But just from what I know, and just from what the news said, we all know that when somebody is arrested, when you are arrested, whether it's at a bank, at a grocery store, in the hood, wherever, they supposed to pat you down and make sure you don't have a weapon before they put you in the car. Then when they get you to the jail, they supposed to do it again. That's way before you don't go to the jail and automatically get strip searched. You don't get strip searched until they try to put you in some other clothing.
Once I think once they turned him over to the correctional center, to the corrections, then they had their own process.
Yeah.
Then they strip search you. I think that's where you cough and all that.
And you cough and they ask you to bend over, but that's after a couple of steps. You don't get all the way that far with a gun.
But he didn't get that far.
I don't understand. Some people believe that the gun. Yeah, some people believe the gun was planted. And see, that's the thing.
However they spin it, they failed them, and they know it, and that's why they're not putting no media coverage on it.
Right, because this is a really big story. A lot of people might not realize that this is a big story. And a lot of people just thinking, okay, a guy was arrested. Okay, he shot himself in the head. Okay. They're not thinking about the entirety of the story. They're not thinking about the specifics of the story. They're just thinking, oh, this guy got arrested. Oh, he went to jail. Oh, he shot himself. They're not looking at the full picture of the story. And that's the problem. That's where we come in as the hood table. That's where we come in to ask questions.
And you should. And I believe God has given you this mission. I really do. As sisters, we got to be a voice in this community. We can't afford to be ignorant, honey, because you know why? They coming and snatching our babies just like this, thinking we sleep. But there's a remnant of women out here that are woke. I'm very much woke. And when I read that article, I was like, this doesn't even make sense.
It didn't make sense to me either. I was like, what? This dude got a gun and he shot himself instead of shooting the police. He didn't shoot the police. He didn't try to shoot the security guards, the correctional center guards. He just shot himself, all because I think they arrested him for domestic violence. So he shot himself because he was arrested for domestic violence?
Pray for our babies. And I'm
Child,
not.
I can see somebody who maybe shot a cop and they scared to go to jail and they shoot themselves. But for domestic violence and you try to kill yourself, it just didn't make no sense to me.
Exactly. I mean, I just want to scream, people, wake up. Talk about this case.
Talk about it.
Don't let this case like disappear, and just because they're not talking about it doesn't mean we don't talk about it.
Right.
And that's why I think our bloggers are becoming more and more a blessing in our communities, because you guys or we talk about things that KETV may not talk about. We get down to the nitty-gritty of it.
The thing about it with these news stations, and I'm not gonna shade the news stations because I get it. Like, okay, the standoff that was when they surrounded the house, when the people had the house that was surrounded last week. I don't know how many of y'all might have seen the video, but there was a police. They surrounded this house. They allegedly, they ended up arresting 2 guys that was taken from their house for murder. But I was there filming and covering. Now, when the news people did their coverage, they're like, the news people, they can only do so much. They can be like, okay, the police came, there was they surrounded the house, but as bloggers, we can do a little bit more, especially if we do a little bit more research and talk to people involved. The police stations, they only allow so many video footage. Like, sometimes you can talk to a police officer, a news crew for like an hour. And when they go live at they 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock news, they got a 12-second clip. With bloggers, you have to get more footage, more dialogue, a little bit more interview with people who are involved in certain situations. So don't sleep on bloggers. That's all I gotta say. Don't
exactly.
Sleep on because
that's why
you remember when the news people came to us, right? With the news at Oriental Trading, the police state, all the news crews in Omaha, Nebraska, was knocking on my door at like 5, 6, 7 in the morning.
What?
Inboxing me, emailing me. I mean, they coming up to my door at my house in the hood, with their news cameras talking about, we want to talk to you about a show that you did on your YouTube channel.
And they're gonna be calling you about the show you gonna do about this, baby, because I know you gonna break this down. I'm telling you.
No, the last show when the police was surrounding that house like a week ago, I was sitting in my truck and the news people was on the side, and we all was chopping it up. We all was talking. Like, but the thing is, when it comes to the news people, they only like to share their information with other news people. But when it comes to bloggers, they want to come to you and ask you for your information. But when it comes to them, they ain't releasing that information unless you a actual news station.
I wouldn't give them nothing.
So that's why when they take the news people don't want to give you information if you're a blogger, but they want to come to you for information if you get the tea before them. So yeah, I made sure, and on the news, people was hitting me up to my, they shot at the hood table. I'm like, yeah, that's what they better do.
Okay, I feel you, sister. But you know what?
Yeah.
I think this case is worthy to look into. I really do. So.
Yep. What's up, Torres? How you doing, Torres? You ain't been on our chat in a minute. You need to jump on our live stream sometime.
I need to meet him.
Yeah, Torres is cool as heck.
Yeah,
he be doing like the Omaha. He be doing like the Omaha news and the Omaha tea and all that stuff too on his YouTube channel. Yeah, Torres is cool as heck. And Edward McAfee, he said that hold on, let me show his comment.
Torres filling our subject. Are we on point, Torres?
Yep, he said peace and blessings. Girl, he be sharing our videos and all kind of stuff. He real cool.
Oh yeah, I interact with him.
Yep. And Edward McAfee said it's impossible to get through a metal detector with a weapon.
He said,
so how the heck did they get through then? That's what we don't understand. That's where the questions arise.
They will never convince me that baby bought that gun in there. They would never they would never be able to convince me unless I'm missing something here.
Same here. I'm obviously missing something, because from the beginning, I was like, before we even did this video tonight, I said, how the heck did he get in with a gun through metal detectors? I don't get it. And then Edward said all these government officials are programmed to do crooked shit and be racist until they run into a real surgeon that's going to give them exactly the heat right back. Oh, child. Oh, child.
I think your interview, your exclusive, is going to bring out a lot.
I do too. I do too. I really do too. And I mean, I see, the thing about it is, when it comes to these news stories, especially when it's close to home, like, we both from Omaha. So stories that are close to home in Omaha, sometimes we do feel a certain type of way. Like, are these people being treated fairly? Is this really what it is? Is this really the police, what they're giving us? Is this really how it went? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for this child, just this whole story with him getting a gun in and shooting himself, it don't make sense to a lot of people. So I am really looking forward to trying to get, more information on this story, because just from what I've heard so far, this child could have had a very, very traumatic life. Maybe it was going into the wrong direction and in foster care, not receiving the help that he should have. And I'm not making excuses for domestic violence or nothing like that, but sometimes it's like, when help is requested and it's not received, and then they go out there and do some kind of wild, crazy mess, and then you try to give them 100,000 years. It's like, okay, maybe if something happened 5-10 years ago, when somebody said this child needs a little bit more attention, he needs help, he needs counseling, maybe we wouldn't even got to that point. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still trying to figure out how he get that gun in there. That don't make no sense.
I know.
And no one would ever convince me that he put that 20, that it doesn't make sense that he would put that in his buttocks.
I don't know. And that's the thing. We're waiting on the news to find out, where was the gun? Did he hide it in his hip? Did he hide it in his pants? Did he hide it between his legs? Where was the gun? It's been a week.
These people are hoping that we are focused on the debate.
Right.
We focus on the COVID-19.
Yep.
That we'll focus on our finances. And if you're working, you're focused on that. And so they can just ease this case away and no one pays attention, because by then it'll be Thanksgiving, into Christmas, into the new year, and on and on and on. Right?
Yep.
The devil is a lie. We're going to bring light to this case. This is...
You know we're going to stay on it. You already know the hood table is going to stay on it. You already know.
Yes.
And regardless, if he did manage to just swindle the police and manage to get the gun in there, or whatever the true story is, we gonna be on it. We gonna do our little investigation.
I know you will. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
you for joining us. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, 26. I appreciate you coming on the live stream tonight and joining us. And that's how it is on Friday Night Lives. We welcome everybody on Friday Night Lives. Jump on the stream. Let us know how you feel about certain topics, or bring your own topics to the table. So, we do appreciate you.
All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, everybody else. We said 2016. I believe they plan to go here during the pat down. Okay, I think we already read that comment. Some heads will roll. The country is going to cover up either way. That was a bit. Oh yeah, we read that comment already. Okay. So everybody from Omaha, the more tea I get on this story, I will share it. I will go live. I will let you know on thehoodtable.com or in our Facebook group, Twitter, IG, whatever. Yes. So with that being said, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and our own personal website, thehoodtable.com. Stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.